Yeah. Could you tell us, first maybe introduce yourself and your role at the radio?
Yeah.
The camera.
My name is Ayub Mohammed Kalusha. I am the Managing Director of the radio.
Okay. And could you tell us about Uvinza? Where is it located and what do you see are the major challenges here?
Yeah. Uvinza is located in the western part of Tanzania, 100 miles away from Kigoma, which is the last station of the central line. Can you come again?
Major challenges in terms of socioeconomic development?
The problem with the Kigoma region and the most part of western Tanzania is abject poverty. So people are too poor to get to think how they are going to solve their problems. So they want knowledge. Yeah, they want knowledge.
And could you tell us why did you want to start a community radio in Uvinza? What needs do you hope it will meet here in the community?
Yeah, our community radio is starting alongside our dire need to establish a high school in Kigoma district. Why do we need a radio? We think a radio can reach more people at the school and can be a good motivator for people to come to school. Because of the abject poverty prevailing in the area, people don't know what exactly they have to do in order to overcome the problem of poverty. So we think the radio can reach them. That is one way we think it is. And again, we here in our village and generally in Tanzania, you have a mushroom of secondary school with lack of facilities. Facilities in terms of material, facilities in terms of laboratories, libraries, and even properly qualified teachers. We think that some of the programs which we are going to run, we are expecting to run them with cooperation from University of Dodoma, of which Tanzania, TCRA, the Communication Authority of Tanzania, said there is a facility there where teachers can ask questions about whatever they think they can't teach well. Even students can ask. We want to make this radio a hub whereby information will come from there and information will come from the teachers and students. We'll send them there and get feedback from there and disseminate through our radio broadcast.
And you mentioned there was a specific target of adolescent girls. Why?
Yeah, we had carried out a survey which revealed to us that when boys and girls start primary 1, chances are there that girls are 60% and boys are 60%. But as they go, when they go in primary 7, they are all 50-50. Going into secondary school, the chances are also 50-50. But when they reach Form 2, the girls are 40, the boys are 60. On reaching Form 4, the boys are 70% and the girls are 30. So we think they need that opportunity, of course. If we don't reverse, things will not work for the girls.
And how will the radio help adolescent girls in secondary school?
Yeah, it will, because it's an opportunity for them to learn. It will give them more time to understand. They will know themselves. That's one. We'll have special programs for them to understand themselves and to know their need to be in equal position as boys. They have to work hard, to work together, so that it will be 50-50 or more than 50. This is what we are going to do.
Great. And could you tell us what your relationship has been with UNESCO and the Democratic Empowerment Project? What has the impact been for the station and the community?
Yeah, we should say for sure, UNESCO in the first place, they were the ones who heard us first. When my daughter conceived the idea of having a radio station here, what we did, we searched in the internet and we found that UNESCO had facilities. We started working. The first person we contacted was Alamin, who is there. And he gave us more information on how we can do and how we can get help from UNESCO. This is where we started. And then we made a write-up, sent it to UNESCO. Then we had a blessing from the UNESCO that we are going to get the radio, they will help us. And we've been working together with them. Now, as far as the empowerment project, which is supported by UNDP, this is helping much on how we can overcome problems which are arising in the country. Because you see, most of the problems we are having, which may cause social unrest in the whole country, are based on politics. Politicians are quarreling, and as a result of that, you have problems related to politics, but now in religion. You have sectarian problems which are created by politicians. So we think if more girls are empowered, because they are the force, more women are empowered because they are forced to reckon, then if they know what they have to do, and if the total community know exactly what they have to do in order to realize political enrichment, democratic enrichment in this, in the area, then we may reduce chances to have social unrest in the area.
So how do you think your participation in the Democratic Empowerment Project will help conflict prevention and peaceful democratic discourse? You know, Kigoma is a very diverse region, and you're close to a lot of neighboring countries which aren't so peaceful. So how do you think it can contribute?
As you might have seen when we had the sensitization meeting, we had included almost everybody, and mostly women. We thought that if these people knew, and if the radio works to give them more knowledge on what exactly they have to do, and if they give us feedback through the reporters that we are having to disseminate in the areas, in the most of the villages around us, we think the message of political and peace will get there. That's the way our radio is concerned.
So it's a two-way communication.
Two-way communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what about in 5 years from now? Where do you expect Uvinza and this project to have taken you? What do you think the results you'll have achieved will be?
Yeah, as I told you earlier on, we want to combine this project with a project of having a secondary high school. We think people coming from there will exactly have the dire need to work in the radio. They will have the influence. We have in our mind again, and we have looked for a land somewhere, and we have been working with the Commonwealth Challenge project, in which we need people's participation and entrepreneurship. We are considering of establishing a school for beekeepers as a way, because you know, at Uvinza, most of the people are relying on salt production. And the salt company here hires a few people. Most of them are casual laborers during the dry season. So in all other parts of the season, people don't have anything to do, especially those that are in town. But we think close to here, if we can establish a school for beekeeping, which is an year-round productive work, then you can reduce the number of people you can reduce poverty, the way we are thinking. You can reduce poverty. And you can have people who can really work and think. We think the radio will also, with entrepreneurship programs that we are going to give here, and relating to the school, the secondary school, and the Beehive school, we think we are going to make some changes.
Yeah.
If not all the changes.
So if you had anything else to add, anything else you'd like to say to UNESCO or to the people back at headquarters, I don't know, or UNDP?
Yeah. With UNESCO, we want to thank them. We are thanking them for what they've done to us. And we think we are going to pay back by doing exactly what they're expecting from us. But we also think that the world is changing. They told us it's a global village. We think one day it will be a global house. So we have to enter and compete with the changes that are coming. We think if provisions are there, our big picture is to integrate our programs into a TV program. Because if people see and hear, it makes more sense than only hearing and not seeing what is being done. So I think if that provision is there, let's go for TV. After 5 years, maybe, we don't know. But we have to have done this and see that this one is sustainable. Yeah.
Well, big dreams.
Thank you. It's a big dream.
Yeah, and we're happy.
And this was also a dream because you see, as you've been told by the DC in the opening speech, in the whole of western part of Tanzania, a real community radio is this one you are starting at Uvinza. So we think we'll have more community radios after this. This success may have a multiplier effect to other areas. People who can think, they can come to us. How did you manage? We'll tell them, and they'll do it. The more radios we have, I think the more efficient we are going to be.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad we could.
Glad to meet you. Glad to be with you.
Dream.
Yeah, glad to be working with you.
Yeah,
yeah.
too.
Thank
So much. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think it's all over.
Yeah, no, that was